Hi everyone, this is Tammy, owner of Worthyworthitpriceless, and today's podcast is titled, Are You Doing Too Much? If you have heard like a previous podcast, you might have heard the first part of this story. So I was in the car one day and I was stressed out, and I was stressed out to the max, and I haven't really been stressed out like that in a very long time. But I was telling God, I was like, man, I am tired. Like, I'm tired. I know what you've called me to do. I have no energy for what you've called me to do. I am extremely tired. And then I was like, once I was crying and all of that, but I did make sure I say, God, let your will be done. And if you want me to do this, if you say so, I will do it. But just to let you know, I am tired. And so you would think that by the end of that, God would have restored my strength or something like that. No. And I ended up going to work, going throughout my day. And then even by the end of the night, I was still like tired. I was stressed out. I was just drained. But I knew that God would make a way, but it's just I was drained. What I just realized was I wasn't drained because of my assignment. I was drained and tired, stressed out or whatever because of myself, because I was doing too much. God never told me to figure out a plan, make a way, or anything. I did all of that. A little bit about myself, like I am extremely independent for the most part, and a lot of times I've had to do things myself because where I live, I don't really have family up here, so I don't really have anyone to count on if anything goes wrong, or even count on, for the most part, for someone to do something for me. It's only me and my mom really up here and my daughter. So if anything has to get done, I have to do it myself. So sometimes even in life, like even if God tells me to do something, like, you know what I mean, or just relax or whatever, I feel as though I have to put my hands on it because that is how I have to be in the natural. Because for the most part, just say my daughter needs milk, no one else is going to get it for her. I have to do it myself, type of thing, if that kind of makes sense. And that's how it is a lot of times. But the issue is, with God, you don't have to do that. He already makes a way for you. Your path is already set. But a lot of times what we do, we try to make this scenario be that scenario, or make this person get our attention or whatever. And with God, you don't have to do that. So, like even in the Bible where it says in Psalms 23, in that chapter, God will prepare a table in front of your enemies. God will prepare a table in front of your enemies. But some of you, and myself included, we might be, I got to make sure the ambiance is cute. I got to make sure that, just say if it was a literal table. So we'll do it that way so it kind of makes sense. Okay. So it's a literal table. There's God, Jesus, and you, and then your enemies are on the other side. And you and Jesus in the house, the enemies are on the other side, this, that, and the third. And the table is set, food is there, everything is set. But you and me, if you're like this, you're running around. I got to make sure that this is done and this is done. I got to make sure that the forks is there and this, that, and the third. We try to make sure that the decorations is good. And God is just sitting there like, okay. And just watching you run yourself ragged, and you're just going this, and you're stressing yourself out and all this stuff. But the table is already set. Everyone is sitting down but you, because you're trying to run and get everything together, but it's already set. God doesn't stop you because he's a gentleman. He's not going to stop you. Not going to stop you, not going to interrupt you and say, hey, he might do it once or twice. Like, you can just sit down. No, God, you don't understand. I got to get that. Okay. And he just waits for you Be patient. Just wait for you. And you just running back and forth. And then once you're tired, you sit down next to God, Jesus, and you're like, man, I'm tired. And God says to you, I never told you to do anything. The table is already set. Enemies are already here. Everything is set. You are the one who's trying to get everything done, but everything is already done for you. And that's how it is in life. It's already done. Your days are already made and all this other stuff. God isn't telling you, hey, I'm going to make a way for you to make your own way. Your way is already made. All he wants you to do is just trust in him. He has great plans for you. You don't have to put your hands on anything. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to do anything. Those doors and opportunities, they're going to be there right there for you. I realized that I didn't have control because recently this is something that started happening. I started getting packages, like whether the packages were coming to me or I was sending them out. There was always a delay on the package. And I'm not lying. Like in the last couple of weeks, it's like every package, there has been a delay. There's a package that I sent to a post office, and it was supposed to be there on Monday. I got a message that the package was arriving late, but it didn't give me a date that it was going to be there or whatever. So around 6 o'clock, I got a message and said that the package was already there. But the package was delivered at 1 o'clock, but I got a message saying that it was arriving late. And that's the thing. Your blessings and everything are already there. They just may have not met the destination or met the time that it's supposed to be there. But it's not for you to stress yourself out about it. God has already made a way. However it's going to work out is how it's going to work out, and it's going to be God's perfect timing. But our problem is, once again, we want to control everything. Once the blessings come to your door, you're going to be prepared for them. God is just preparing you right now. It may not look the way that you want it to, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the way that God wants it to be, and you're going to be able to enjoy the blessings that God has given you. Now, very quickly, I want to talk about another scenario about doing too much, because everyone, that may not be like doing too much in life. That may not be your scenario. Well, in a God sense. So some of you allow God to have control. So that's not your portion. That's not your problem. Others, it is you doing too much for your family and friends. Are you doing too much? And that is, a lot of times you might have people around you that are not as independent as you. And you have people that are too dependent on you. And you end up being stressed out. Because you have someone around you that is just sucking the life out of you. You sit up there, you give them advice all the time. Every time they need to go to the store, you're the one who takes them to the store. If they need something cooked, they need something done, you're just running around crazy for this person. And you're not getting it back. Or even if you're in a relationship, you're the one who's, I'm going to make sure that you're straight. Oh, you have to go here. I'm going to be there for you. But they're not returning that to you. All that love that you're giving them, they're not giving it back to you. And at the end of the day, you're just so stressed out. And you feel so empty because that person isn't pouring into you. Are you doing too much? And the answer is, for the most part, yes. If you're around someone who's not giving you the same love that you're giving them, you need to reevaluate that situation, have a conversation with them or something, because that's not fair. You're stressing yourself out beyond belief because you're trying to help someone else out and they're not giving that same energy to you. That is a conversation that you need to have, and you need to actually recognize it. Ask God to take I say, like, for me, take the blinders off my eyes and help me to see every scenario or situation, or also give me discernment, because you have to see these people around you as well, because you have a calling and a purpose on your own life. And what you don't need is for somebody to put added weight or added pressure on you. Just say you're going to school, you're working, or you have a child, and then you have a family member that's like always leaning on you. You don't have time to do anything else. I know people like that. They don't have time to do nothing else because they're running around for this family member or that. And it's not fair to you. So please recognize that if you have someone around you that is just taking from you and not pouring back into you. Love yourself. There's nothing wrong with telling them, like, yo, I can't do this today. I can't do that. It's okay to say no. No one has ever died from a no, just getting the words no. They will survive. There's only so much that you can do. There's no reason for you to put added pressure onto yourself, especially for someone who would not do the same thing for you. So please recognize that self-care is very important, as well as self-love. Always know that you have worth, you have value, you are worthy, worth it, and priceless. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast, and until next time, love you guys. Bye.